Welcome to Happy on Purpose with Janess Pearson. Real conversations with the people behind the businesses, the projects, and the good things happening in the Okanagan.
Today I'm sitting down with Nadina Wiens, a registered nurse and passionate seniors advocate. Nadina brings clinical expertise and a very human, compassionate lens to caring for seniors, something that really shows in how she talks about dignity, independence, and quality of life. This isn't just about care, it's about helping people continue to feel like themselves as they age, which matters more than we realize sometimes. Nadia, thank you so much for being on Happy on Purpose.
Thank you for
and for
having
being
me.
Our top fan. That's so important to acknowledge you. So tell us how you started. Like, what first drew you into the line of work with seniors and nursing?
So I have been a registered nurse since age of 18 in Europe because the educational system is structured differently. I was a full-fledged nurse by age of 18, and then I have immigrated to Canada, where I continue my education in challenging licensing. During the COVID, as I went on with my career in Vancouver, during the COVID, I realized that everybody went on with their own path, and seniors were it felt like forgotten by the wayside. They were very limited on social interactions. Everybody was protecting them to the point of isolation. In the nursing homes, they were fully isolated. They were already older and weaker in a way as we age. And I felt that they were left behind. So when we moved to Okanagan, and I wanted to explore new specialty, I have looked online seniors care and ways to incorporate into my practice, and discovered Comfort Keepers Seniors Company, which then gave me a nice 4 years of doing everything for and with seniors.
Yeah. So beforehand, did you work with seniors in Europe?
No, I was actually a critical care specialized ICU emerge nurse. And seniors were never my only interest in life. But one thing I find with maturing and aging, we're quickly reminded that we all get there. And I feel it's my obligation to look after them and in a way create a ways of one day being looked after.
Yeah, because what you said before we, started was we're all going to be there.
Yes.
God willing, right?
Yes.
We'll all
Yes.
age and we'll be all old enough that we're going to need some sort of care.
Correct.
Yeah, and for sure during COVID, there was so many folks that I think I won't say that was the most challenging part about COVID, but having the seniors in the care homes or the hospitals and not being able to have anyone come and visit them. Mental health wise, seniors are one of the most vulnerable populations.
Correct.
For loneliness and health related.
Yes, depression.
Yeah.
If they only have one son and that one son cannot visit due to the restrictions, they just lost the entire support system.
Yeah.
And people are waving through the windows during the COVID and, blowing kisses. Where I worked in COVID intensive care unit at the time on the coast, I would go out of my way to dial the family on an iPad so they can visit. I have assisted so many end of the life social moments and reconnecting because the people are dying alone. And that's one thing that you will see across the board. Despite the age, people do not want to die alone.
Yeah.
They don't want to live alone, never mind die alone.
And I think with the way the world is now, we're so global that a lot of times that the nuclear family moves away. The children move away, especially being in the Okanagan Valley. We're a little more of a retirement type town. So I think the younger kids or adults move away for school. So there
Correct.
is a lot of lonely seniors here.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
So I
agree.
think what you're doing is just so powerful. You've had quite a journey through nursing and leadership, which you just started to talk about. But was there a moment or experience that really shaped how you see seniors care today, with the exception of COVID? Or was that really when you started to pivot to seniors?
COVID, it was definitely the biggest pivotal point where I realized that there was just not enough emphasis and not enough money and effort, and many people didn't want to go into other people's homes to work and socialize because you don't know, is it, sterile, clean, are you going to get sick? So that was the significant deciding factor for seniors care, the fact that we all age, including myself, I will get there, paving the way, doing what I believe in being done for them. So if I can create the system, or if I can tell you about the benefit that everybody can apply for to finance 2 hours a week of socializing with your mom or dad, there is more of a chance that that will carry on. It's basically doing what you believe.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. Having had both my parents pass away quite young, my dad was only 69 and my mom was only 79. I feel like that's quite young.
Yes.
But just knowing the amount of care when seniors get ill or just start aging, and even at that young age, they still needed a lot of support.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm on board. I'm on board with what you're doing. In your role with Comfort Keepers Okanagan, what does good care actually look like to you beyond the basics? Because we know everyone is seemingly so overworked in the medical profession right now.
Yes.
So beyond the basics.
So beyond the basics, I would say ensuring that you understand who the client is and what they like to do. Who were they before the disability or lack of ability came into place? Their health became big enough of the it stopped them from enjoying the activities. If some of the biggest activities that I have done with seniors is all they want to do is go for a cup of tea, cup of coffee, walk. Can you play cards with me? It's a very simple ask, and it seemed to be so easily forgotten by most of us. Because due to the economic pressures in today's society, we're also very busy working. And there is nobody to go and visit grandma and grandpa. And having said that, now people are more likely to hire someone to come for a couple hours a week to spend the time with mother or father or, an elderly family member. What is really important to do, what a good seniors agency will do, is get to know the client and match with the right caregiver. Because if you can match that, the caregiver is more likely to do the job with the full power, doing things that the client likes to do, and the client will enjoy the visit, more likely enjoy the visit better than just throwing some stranger at your mom or dad to kill the 2 hours, to spend the 2 hours with them. So I would say very important part is get to know your parents all over again. Get to know what makes them happy. One thing throughout all of my healthcare experience is, to the last breath that we take, we want to be happy and comfortable. So
yes, and connection and community is so powerful. I imagine, because we do have the two seniors facilities here, like senior centers, but there are a lot of seniors that can't get out or can't get there or don't have somebody to get there. So with Comfort Keepers, or would you suggest or think that that is a good service too, that being able to even bring them to the the seniors' places, even
So-
just getting them out.
Care agencies are generally specialized in offering service of driving with the full coverage, fully licensed caregiver, insured vehicles, and they're able to pick up the individuals and take them to events. Because that is also another thing. People are being placed into the nursing homes, and we think now we're good children because we have given them this $6,000 a month nursing home. But they get completely isolated in the nursing homes because nobody is really coming to interact with them, take them places. These people used to paint and dance and go play bridge and play golf. Like picking them up, taking them for activities is a life-changing for them. So definitely agencies like Comfort Keepers, and there's others out there that are fully licensed and operating on what we call companionship. So they will come, they will schedule the visit, they will come pick up the individual, take them to whatever their favorite activity is, and spend a couple hours. And it will not kill your budget.
Right. And I think that is such a missing piece. Like I'm picturing when you're speaking, you know, when you think of the facilities or care, we think, are their blood medications getting administered? Are they getting clean, you know, bathed and whatever? We've forgotten the social aspect, the socialization, the getting, I'm feeling like you're still a member of
the community. Correct.
Yeah.
And that is seemed to be very easy to forget. It seemed to be the biggest factor to the aging depression and health problems. They're already not doing what they used to do. So if you're now not letting them go and participate in all the activities and reasons for living, purpose to be alive.
Yes. And I just think I will probably end up harping on it during this interview because it is so important. The mental health, we have studied it endlessly, and that connection is the key to good longevity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And happiness, yeah, like you say, which is finding your flow states, finding things that keep your mind activated, music, whatever it is.
Yes.
It's not just about a roof over your head and food in your tummy.
No.
And medication. Yeah. What do you love most about the work you do, and how does it make a difference for people? For you, how does your care work like what we just talked about?
It is, I can't even find the word in my English, how powerful it is to make someone's day better, to make someone's moment better, just to stop for a second and pick up something off the floor so that that elderly individual doesn't have to, and fear that they will tumble over themselves. My entire existence is so much better because of my experience with the seniors care and Comfort Keepers. That if I could go and offer that level of care to everyone for free, I would be the happiest. There is a government-funded healthcare, home care component that everybody could qualify for a certain period of time. And then there is a private home care that you pay out of the pocket that does not have a limit on what you want to do during that time of the visit, how you want to spend the time, where you want to go. They will do it all for you.
What agencies are those, or is this with
So this is Comfort Keepers, this is Nurse Next Door. They will, so you book them, they will assess your family member, and then they do, if it's companionship or nursing care, they will do it all for the individual. It's a care all encompassing for the individual.
Yeah, wraparound care.
Where when it's through the system, because they're servicing so many seniors, they have to be very mindful with time.
Yeah,
that is the biggest difference.
I think not to think that it's a waste of time to play that game of cards.
Correct.
It is not a waste of money to have
Correct.
your loved one doing an activity.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
seem to be very dedicated to of taking care of our parents, but somewhere along the line we forget that care of our parents is not about what we think they should be doing. You need to maintain their independence. They will be your parents for as long as they have the sense of themselves within.
Yeah.
So if that means paying 1 to 2 hours of the private care, so then the caregiver, whatever agency you picked, can come and do something that your parent or your family member loves to do. And it doesn't have to be a dressing change. It doesn't have to be a medical appointment. It does not have to be a drive.
Right.
It can just be doing what they like to do. It reminds them what is it that they love to do? What is it that makes them who they always were or still are?
Their
So
autonomy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Independence. You don't want to do more than you should for aging population because it's very easy for humans to get comfortable with doing less and less for ourselves. Oh, I have help. Oh, I don't need to do that. So what Comfort Keepers did different or does differently as a home care approach is, oh, let's make some vegetable soup. Okay, what about you? If you can't cut the vegetables, let's go to the store together and buy the vegetables. I will cut it up. You sit in the chair while I'm cutting. Let's cook the meal together. That socialization and participation in things that used to make their life is the biggest game changer.
And even just you saying that, you're using different parts of the brain for that.
Yes.
So there is a neurological component to
muscle nerve connection, very important. Yes.
Yeah. When families are navigating care for aging parents, what do you notice they're often carrying emotionally that maybe doesn't get talked about enough? So the caregivers that they love, obviously, their aging parent. Maybe they're not here. They're trying to find care. What do you find is the most common thing that you hear about that they're worried about for their senior or loved one?
Throughout my experience as a registered nurse in critical care, we don't seem to ever think that we're going to get older, and we don't seem to think that we may get sick. So these conversations are never had in timely manner. And then you're suddenly faced with a situation where mom or dad have fallen down, broke their hip. They might have gone into delirium, confusion, and now you're faced with making decisions, and you realize that you don't know what to do. You have never had this conversation, so I would say it's really important to have a conversation with your parents on how would they like things to be done when they cannot make their own decisions. Do that on time, as uncomfortable as it is. Organize things put in place so that everybody's comfortable if the accident is to take the place. And these conversations maintain your position as a respectful family member rather than when the children become caregivers.
Yes.
That burns the children because we're also now in times where most of us works 5 to 6 days a week. And now when you add aging parent on top of that, it becomes very stressful. We're seeing a lot of tension in the family connections because parents are now that sandwich generation where they have their own kids they have to take care of, and now there's aging, failing health parent in the background.
Right.
So navigating those questions, I would, from my experience, I would say start thinking and talking about them while the seniors are still in their healthy mindset and cognition. You can get at least a sense what they would like.
Yeah.
So you can execute things to their wishes and not guessing, would mom be okay with this? Would dad, be upset or not? I think it's very important.
Yeah, starting those conversations early. I think it just preserves their dignity.
Oh,
is
very
what I'm
much
hearing
so.
through that. So they
Very
still
much
have
so.
a say. Even it's so interesting. We think we know our parents, but parents are always parents.
Yes.
So as a woman of an aging parent, we might not really know what they really like to do, because they're your parent. So
Yes.
you see them caregiving for us, but did we know that maybe they really would have liked to have wrote an autobiography?
Correct.
Did we know that they really wished they could have gardened more?
Yes.
So that having those conversations, I feel like, would help when they're older to go, well, now might be a good idea to start gardening. Could we pot a plant together or
Activities,
something?
yes.
Yeah, instead of guessing.
Yes, and it reminds you who they are as the individuals, because that's one of the first things that goes with the failing health is you need more help. You're hesitant to ask.
Right.
That creates anxiety and the weight on your family. So it's this ongoing big bundle that just keeps getting bigger and bigger, because unfortunately, as we age, the health does not get never better.
Right.
It will, this will fail, that will fail. And you want to know as much as you possibly can as a child, what would your parents like? How would they like it? Give as much freedom and space for their independence, and do not invade until you sense or they have asked for help, so that you can step in and do exactly what they would like done.
Yes. Oh, such good information. You mentioned helping seniors continue their quest for happiness. What does that look like in real life, especially as people face aging or loss of independence?
So as someone who has an aging parent, as well as a registered nurse, I catch myself so consumed with the physical needs. Did you pick up the meds? Did you call the doctor? Did you go see the specialist? Completely forgetting ever to ask, hey, Mom, you used to like painting. Let's go to Paulson Park on a Friday night when it's Paulson Market, during the summer, and let's have painting session.
Yep.
Remembering why you loved life, remembering what made them happy, remembering that they can still, if they cannot go and jogging, they can go stroll down the park or the path or by the ocean or by the lake, should I say, and still take that smell in and still be reminded what the life is all about.
Yeah, that is the quest, right?
Yes.
Is the being able to do the things that you can have memory engaged again, remembering maybe your younger children on that beach.
Yes.
Being able to recall those memories as a senior.
Absolutely.
What also, because we're dealing with somebody who's aging in our extended family, is, and you said it earlier, is not putting out what we think they should like on them. If your parent is an introvert or grew up on a farm, they're probably not going to want to go and do every excursion possible,
in the city.
In the city.
Correct.
We have to okay, we need to listen a little more to our
You're
seniors.
not doing it for yourself. You're
Right.
doing it for them.
Yes.
I think that's probably the biggest message I can say. Just the same way as you would assist, not help, assist your child as a standby, what school to pick and which path to choose in life. You do the same with your parents. It's just a different path.
Yeah, just
Right.
letting them still have that sense of self.
And independence.
And independence as much as possible. For those listeners that are just tuning in, today we're talking to Nadina Wiens. She's a registered nurse here in Vernon, BC, also affiliated with Comfort Keepers Okanagan. She's an absolute seniors advocate, and this conversation has just been so good about keeping our happiness, keeping our mental health, and keep being able to support our seniors. I think what you said about the sandwich generation, because that'll be a good chunk of the listeners, it's so challenging when you've got an aging parent and you're still dealing with your own children.
Correct.
Yeah, so even just finding that balance. What are some of the biggest challenges you see seniors facing right now, and where do you feel the system or support sometimes falls short?
So if the seniors did not do extravagant job in financial aspect of things, planning their retirement, and everything is so much more expensive than ever before, I find that there's more cuts to the services, companionship, seniors care, because they will feel they don't really need that, or they can get by without having companionship or someone to come and visit. I would say don't cut on those things. There is disability benefits out there the government gives, either temporary or on the permanent basis, that you can print out, discuss with your physician and the accountant, see if you qualify. That should help you pay for some of the hours of caregiving or companionship. And we just find that children, grown children like myself, work so much that there is not enough hours invested or available for them to go now and spend the quality time, fun time, painting time, walking time, concert time. And sometimes seniors, that's all they really want or need, because they have had everything else that money can buy.
Yes, no, totally agree. I just keep on thinking about even just taking them to the Vipers games, you know, here in town, or anything, just so simple.
Yes, even
so
community hockey games, to them getting out of the house, because they cannot anymore get in a car and drive. You know, having someone come pick them up, or organize handy dart to pick them up and drive them to the Vipers game or any of the minor hockey in Vernon games. They are rejuvenated.
Yes.
Seeing the children, seeing the excitement, getting outside, breaking the routine in the house is rejuvenating.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know much about Handy Dart. Do you know how that works here in Vernon?
Handy Dart, there's application. You fill out the application. I believe you need to be putting down the name of the practitioner, either interior health or your family physicians. I can't speak on that, the details, but the application can be put in, and then they can, in certain situations, depending on the income level, they can come and pick up people to take them out.
Right. So even if you just needed to meet them there.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
then they have transportation there and back.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, we've got options.
Yes.
We just need to know what they are.
Yes.
That's the thing. On the flip side, what have you witnessed that gives you hope in this space for seniors? Moments where care really gets it right. Do you have a story? I mean, we can't name names, obviously, but is there a time that you can think of working with a senior that you just knew this was making a difference in their life?
When there's just so many situations that are coming at me that I'm recalling, where I felt I made somebody's life better as a nurse, and someone who I feel like my whole life was meant to be care for others, either in the government system as a registered nurse or in a private home care business for Comfort Keepers. Every way and every opportunity where I can better somebody's existence makes my life better. I recently have encountered the individual that has experienced homelessness, 70 years old. And did you know that every 8 community member in Vernon is experiencing homelessness? So every 8 person out there is at risk or on the verge of becoming homeless.
Yeah.
So these are people who have even less of a chance to ever afford more than the government granted visiting. And I find home care, the biggest differences that we have made is when we're able to pick up clients, and because it's a privately financed home care company, we believe in taking care of the people as a whole. So when you pick them up in the hospital, you drive by the pharmacy, pick up the medication, get fresh groceries, go to their house, make them a meal, make sure they're safe, and report to the family. It makes such a big difference for everyone in the picture to give them a peace of mind that it just reassures me that I'm in a right profession all over again.
Yeah. When you're in that rewarding work, right, you just know. And then it increases your happiness.
Yes.
Increases your sense of person and purpose, I should say. It's such a gift. You did mention you were also doing outreach work.
Yes. So in my other work life, half time here, half time there, I work for Interior Health Outreach Program, and I work as a street outreach nurse here in Vernon. So I work with unhoused population, and it is astonishing the increased number of seniors that are unhoused, even on the street. And we're seeing an increase in the shelters, increase on the street. I know a lot of our community is very uncomfortable seeing it and talking about it, but this is the reality. And many of them are somebody's parents. Unless they get diagnosed, they cannot get brought into the hospital for dementia or any kind of infection treatment. So I found that outreach work that I do with Interior Health is basically capturing these individuals out on the street, being able to meet people where they're at, and do everything that my employer empowers me to do to meet them and assist them to come back to more stable and clean living.
Yeah.
So it all around, I keep getting my cups filled with happiness.
Yeah. It is hard, I would imagine. That you're so right. You know, when people think about the homeless situation, you know, there's the population that is maybe the most visible, and those are the folks, you know, that sadly have some addiction issues, etc. But there is a lot of folks that are living, like you said, seniors, that'd be 65 and over, that are now living in their vehicles.
Yes.
That are living on the side streets, that are not they paid their taxes, they were good upstanding citizens. It's just as they aged, life happened, and you know, living off of CPP and
you can't meet the rent price.
Right.
Just last week, there was a lady by the Mark's Warehouse and Tim Hortons down Anderson Way, and I felt punched in my gut because I have not seen that before. She appeared to be in her 60s, and she had a big sign in the front of her saying, "I'm 65 and now on the street. All my life I paid taxes, I worked, and now I don't have money for the rent." This should not be happening.
Yeah, it should not be happening.
These are our parents and grandparents. They paved our way. Why are they on the street? So I think it's really important to be mindful that we all age. She was me that many years ago, and you know, like she was a working, paying citizen, and now she's on the street. Yeah. So what we need to do better for our seniors.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. This work, as we just talked about, can be heavy at times, but how have you grown personally through it? What has it taught you about life?
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Even when my glass is not to the rim full, I probably have more than most out there on the street. And I'm just grateful for my health, my family, my children, this interview. I am beyond words grateful for how my life has evolved. And this is a huge honor for me to be able to work privately and care for the seniors, and then come and work as a street outreach nurse and care for the people that are basically in many ways forgotten by the society. Bring them ensure or sandwich or pudding. It justifies my existence. I feel this is what good work should look like.
It makes me, when my kids were really young, we always carried little Ziploc baggies of granola bars, little things that we'd put together, and my kids always would say, can we give some to those people? Just teaching our children
Kindness.
from a very young age.
Yes.
And that therefore by the grace of God go I,
Yes.
right? You know, we are all, I shouldn't say we are all, but there is a very big population in Vernon that are maybe 1 to 2 months away
from the street.
And if somebody, it's not people that just didn't plan right. I think that is just the biggest misconception, that people end up homeless because they
Absolutely.
didn't, life happens.
Yes.
Tariffs happen.
Yes.
Job downsizing
Yes.
happen. You think you might work till you're 70. That plan doesn't work.
How many people had to go back to working at 70 or 75 years old at Walmart after they put good 50, 60 years of work in their previous career? It is, I do not wish to sit on the side just feeling sorry for these people. I want to be part of solution.
Yes. Yes.
And that's basically why I do what I do. And private care is wonderful. It did fill many spots during post-COVID. Not everybody can afford it. We have government funded home care. That's where the people can be taken care of that cannot afford private. Look into what is out there. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your nurses. There is options for everyone.
This might throw you a little curveball because I didn't ask you this privately, but what do you think people can do? What is one simple thing that people can do in our community that isn't going to cost them anything but maybe a little time to assist our seniors?
Well, it would be wonderful if everybody would go out of their way and volunteer 1 to 4 hours every 2 weeks, twice a month, whatever they can give away from their busy schedules at the seniors' nursing homes.
Yep.
Or just go where you see an elderly person that is sitting down by themselves. Speak to them, eye-to-eye contact, touch their shoulder, let them know you see them, they're alive. Can I help you?
Right.
It is the world of difference to someone who is feeling invisible because they can't just jump up and do what they used to do.
Yeah, so good. All right, well, this has been such a great interview, and we're getting to the end. So this is the last question for you. On just a more personal note, when you step away from work, what brings you back to yourself?
Well, being someone who has finished nursing and entered the nursing career later in life due to being from Eastern Europe and going through the war, I had children, well, some would say fairly late in life, and they're now at the full swing of their busy hockey careers. I volunteer. I go out with my dog. I live up the Silver Star. I spend a lot of time in nature. Yeah. And every time what I am practicing now or being mindful to make it a practice is when my feet hit the ground, getting out of the bed in the morning, saying thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because there is always someone who has less than me. So, and I thank you for this interview, and I thank you for this station being so wonderful and so community orientated. You fill my heart. So thank you for existing and inviting me to come here today.
Thank you. There's something really grounding about the way you approach care. And it's not just about keeping people safe, it's about helping them stay connected to who they are. And that really comes through for sure. This interview is the perfect interview. If you're listening and want to learn more about Nadina and the work they're doing at Comfort Keepers Okanagan, you can find them online and connect with their team there. And as always, what we take in each day matters, so choose something that helps you grow. I'm your host, Janess, and this has been Happy on Purpose. See you next time. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. You can find more Happy on Purpose conversations on YouTube.